So, I want to talk about the idea of a reset and why it's important. So, let's talk about what that word means for a minute. So, if you think about reset, one of the things I always think about are the technology that surrounds us. So, something you might reset would be your computer or your modem. And there are things that alert you to the fact that these things need to be reset. And one of those things is a slowdown. So when your internet starts to slow down, it alerts you. It doesn't actually alert you, but it's a indication that something is wrong, right? Or if your computer is slowing down, it's bogged down, it's an indication that you need to check on something. And I think what's really interesting is that we don't do that for ourselves. So we start to slow down, we start to feel tired, we start to drag, and then we just keep pushing forward. We don't stop to kind of look at the system and see what could be going on. So when you notice that something's slowing down, let's say on your computer, I know what I do. If you're somewhat technically minded, which I'm not very technically minded, but I know enough to know that, okay, first I might delete my browser history or delete my cookies or clear out some clutter. Maybe there are some heavy files. I'm going to close down all the applications that are taking a lot of memory. And then I might actually do like a formal performance evaluation. I might download some software. So ultimately, what I'm trying to do is optimize my system, optimize my computer so that it works at its maximum potential. And I'm going to do that if I'm smart, if I want this computer to last a long time and to be, operating at a rate that it's effective and helping me, then I'm going to do this optimization, this performance evaluation a few times a year, at least, unless I notice that it's slowing down. So what I want to encourage you to do is the same thing. So a couple times a year, just do a scan, do a performance evaluation. Where am I dragging? Where do I feel tired? Where am I not really performing at my maximum potential? Where are the places where I feel off? It's a really good exercise to do for yourself, because I think sometimes what we do, at least what I do and what my clients do, is that we tend to focus a lot of our energy on work. And yes, work is important, but you are not going to be good at your work or at your job if the other parts of your life are completely out of alignment and aren't optimized, right? So if you're dragging, if you feel tired, if you aren't sleeping well, if you aren't eating well, if you aren't exercising, you're not going to be performing well at your work, in your job, or potentially in your other relationships outside of work. So you might have, mood swings if you're not sleeping well, if you're not eating well. So it's good to just evaluate the places that affect your optimized performance. And what are those places? So from my perspective, and again, it's only my perspective, that's all I can ever bring you, it's my perspective. But from my perspective and what's worked for me when I've paid attention are 4 components: your body, exercise, skincare, even hydration. What are you eating and drinking? How much are you sleeping? I like to throw like circulation and breathing in there too, just looking at all these places that keep your body optimized, performing at a high level. Okay, so your body, your mind. What are all the places where you're holding on to things? You're holding on to old memories. You have this storage of files in your memory bank that are getting heavy because they're weighing you down. What are all those things? And you can figure them out through talk therapy, through coaching, through self-coaching, writing down your stories, understanding what they are. So the mind. I think something that's really important that we don't talk about a lot, although I feel like it's maybe a little bit more comfortable now for people to talk about, but is the spiritual side of things. And, as human beings, we don't know what happens next. But I feel personally for myself that it kind of opens up this magical portal that feels good when you start to think about all of the spiritual connections that you may have. And this could be to anything, right? So to me, it's not about believing in one thing. It's about believing in something that makes you feel vibrant and alive and connected. And I think on the spiritual side too, a lot of that doesn't have to be ethereal and outside of our realm. It can also be a connection to community, a connection to something that makes you feel actually more grounded. So for some people, like music might be a spiritual practice, but music that they make with other people, right? So there's a community aspect, there's this spiritual connection, but it's really grounded in like this realm, right? It's not something that doesn't exist outside of our space and time. So I think finding a connection to something that makes you feel just, again, like you've just a little more glitter, a little more magic, something that really makes you feel alive, makes your heart feel big and full. That's an important component to your reset, evaluating that, and then work. And again, I think that work is a component. Some people will say, well, no, I mean, to feel well and to feel whole, you just look at these other pieces that make us human. But work makes us human. We love working. I love to think about my dog, who my brother adopted. She's a cattle dog, and that dog needs to work, right? It's like in her DNA. She needs to run, she needs to herd, she needs to do all these things that are a part of her instinct. And I think as humans, work is something that pays the bills, but I think also it's something that gives us purpose. It keeps us busy. It keeps us moving forward. It keeps us connected to certain things. So I don't leave work out of this kind of 4 components of wellness thing and of the reset. I think more than anything, you need to look at your work with a clear mind, with a scan, right? You need to look at your work and you need to scan through it. You need to do your performance evaluation on your work. Where is it aligned? Where is it out of alignment? Where is it bringing you joy? Where is it bringing you pain? Really look at it. What is this work that you do in the world? How does it fuel you? How does it fuel others? How is it making an impact? Or, I mean, and that impact doesn't have to be spiritual. That impact can be, I'm providing for my family. That's a huge impact. That's important. So but making sure that you're finding all the places where you could be optimizing that part of your wellness. So I hope that's helpful. And I hope it reframes the idea that a reset is not a detox. A detox is, I find detox is fun. It might be something that you do a couple times a year, but it's not resetting you to a place of normalcy. Detox is not normal, right? Like living on juice for 3 days is not like your normal state of being. A reset is taking you back to your normal state of being, taking you back to a place where you are optimized and performing well and in your best place, feeling like all of these components are working at their like optimum level. Whereas a detox is like this step off of your normal path to go into this place and to try something. And it's a good way to see what your bad habits are and try something new, but you're not going to live in that state of being forever. So a reset is really just getting you back to a normal state that's optimized. When you reset your computer, you're not basically like clearing everything off. That's not really a reset. A reset is just pressing the button and restarting it. It's not a wiping of the system, right? So it's not completely starting over. It's really just recalibrating, getting rid of some of the old junk, but recalibrating yourself to perform at a high level. And this isn't like I feel like I always have to say something like this. It's not the recalibration to like perform at a high level in our capitalistic patriarchal society. It's really just whatever your bar is for feeling energetic, feeling full of vitality, feeling like you have purpose, feeling whole and full. And that's about you. It's your scan, it's your performance, it's your optimization. It's not what makes other people feel good. It's not what makes other people feel productive. It's what makes you feel good. This reset is about you. It's about realigning to what feels good to you, your routines, your rituals, not other people's. What other people do is totally irrelevant. So when you see all these like Instagram influencers, like with their special rituals, those things are not potentially going to fit into your life. So this is about recalibrating to what's normal for you, what makes you feel good. All right. All that being said, I hope that's helpful. And I hope you'll consider doing a reset before the summer. I'm running a reset program. So if you want to find out more, you can find it in the link below. Okay. Talk soon.